Jonathan Chick back with you with another episode of Shtisel Man, and we're very happy today to discuss one of the best episodes of Shtisel, Season 2, Episode 11. And as we talk, we have thunder and lightning in the background. It's a good backdrop for what ends up being a truly dramatic episode, and in fact, one of the best of the series, and in my opinion, one of the best pieces of television ever done. It's a wonderful, wonderful episode that has so many layers. We're going to get into it now, and I think one piece of takeaway that we can all take away from this episode. In this episode, everyone's searching. Everyone is searching for something. From as, so to speak, trite, if you will, potentially as Shulem searching for the dog that he just got to know. From Ruchami searching for Chanina. From Lippe searching to build a bridge back to Gitti. From Akiva searching for his meaning and purpose in the context of his art and in the context of Lippe. And finally, we have Aryeh looking for his purpose and meaning with his God-given talent of song and how that all fits into his sort of life plan. I love this episode on so many levels, but primarily because it doesn't give us the sort of expected cliche ending and answer that would happen in so many shows. If you're talking about a show that is focused more on the left side of the political spectrum, if you will, you would have much more of a focus on follow your heart, do whatever you want to do in life, follow your desires, and, that's what you're here for, okay? If the episode was very much tilted to the right, or an extreme position, it would be, don't do anything that is not, quote-unquote, in the religious tent, which would be prayer and study and whatnot, and family, but anything else outside that would be considered inappropriate. Instead, the episode is so real to life because it hones in on the human experience that Shtisel does so well. Let's take Aryeh. Aryeh, with his gift of song, and is he not fulfilling his purpose? Well, he decides at the end of the episode he's going to forgo that dream, if you will, of fame and fortune as a singer. And by the way, in the Haredi world, singers actually do have their version of fame and fortune. It's not just, singers like, Yaakov Shweki and others, and Avram Fried, Mordechai Ben David, if you've heard of them, are extremely popular and do make a considerably good living, to say the least. Nothing bad about those singers, just that it does exist. So this story actually has a lot of truth to it. Instead, and in fact, as the innuendo in the series that his wife got so to speak, excited about his possible career choice that she sort of hinted, let's go to bed. That's in fact one of the only sexual innuendos that is, if you catch it, is right there on Shtisel. But Aryeh at the end decides, after some interesting words from his potential bandmate, he's able to realize that he actually prioritizes his family life really more than anything. And he was concerned, as it is a really concern, that perhaps following that dream of song and fortune and whatnot would be taken far afield from really what he wants in life. On the other hand, we have Akiva and his painting and his art, and he comes to the realization that art is so much a part of who he is, and it's such a passion, and it's not a contradiction to building a family or to also based on his personality and what he's really about. that this was a pursuit that he did not want to ignore, even if it meant losing his bride-to-be. And I think that's also an extremely authentic position because, this is something that he, again, prioritized as a major, major part of his life presently and for the future. We have Chanina and Ruchami, and Gitti has the chance meeting with Chanina in the restaurant, in her new restaurant, and she's able to see the beauty and innocence of this boy and realizes that this is something that her daughter really wants, and is something that she allows to take place. But really the searching is really Ruchami to Chanina and vice versa. True, really young, unadulterated love that is actually, although seems quite a little bit far-fetched in the reality of the world in the sense of how young they are, as the writers build more of a backstory about Chanina and his mother dying and his orphaned before his bar mitzvah, it makes more sense in the character development that this boy would embark in a youthful romance from more of a mature standpoint, and both Ruchami also from a mature standpoint because they've all suffered loss. Ruchami suffering loss in her father leaving for so long and the upset in the marriage. Chanina having loss of his mother. So they find solace with each other, but it appears, and we will see in season 3, that this is something that can really actually be quite a healthy and loving marriage. Finally, we end up with it seems like a side issue, but Shulem's searching too. Shulem is searching for companionship throughout Shtisel, from the beginning to the end. And this dog provides him some very interesting love, which is without any strings attached. And when the dog goes missing, he seems to miss something inside him too. So all told, this episode is so profound because my takeaway is that a person needs to make a decision based on priorities. And I'm going to shift to this sign that I have in my office, which I think you are reading it backwards if we look at it this way, but I will try to turn and show it this way. Find something you would die for and live for it. Find something you would die for and live for it. That is really the message of this episode. Find that thing that you really truly want and desire and make it your priority. If it's Akiva, it's his art. If it's Aryeh, it's his family. If it's Ruchami and Chanina, it's the love. And Shulem is also keeping on searching, which makes him such an enigmatic character because he's still not really quite sure what he wants. But a number of these characters in this episode really determine what they do want. So the answer really is not necessarily just to follow your heart and do whatever comes to you. And we all may have strengths of ourselves that we might not necessarily, fully develop in our lifetime. But if we make a constant and intentional choice about how we want to live our lives and with who we want to share our lives with, then we can sleep at night and we can feel that we are doing something of value. And again, at the other side of the extreme, we have people who also become religiously stifled, but not because the religion or Torah is incorrect. It means just the way they are approaching things from a truly fully didactic and very stifling manner can end up being against really what we're trying to achieve in life. So the bottom line is everyone should pursue, perhaps with the help of a mentor, a rabbi, a guide, to an executive coach or sort, to find what it truly is their number one, their prioritization, and make that their choice and run with it and go with it. We'll be back with more Shtisel coming up. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and all the best.